Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Hat KJ, because today is chilly. I mean, it's fine. We're getting through it. It's just a little resurgence of winter. Technically, it's not even the first day of spring. It's fine. It's whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. So, for today's walk and talk, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit and walk a little bit about some of the things that came up in therapy today. So, first and foremost, my partner and I slept in because I don't know if any of you in the US of A have noticed, but it is currently daylight savings time, and that is a terrible time for many of our brains, our bodies, our spirits, our hearts, our minds, because it totally throws off our entire circadian rhythm. And many of us struggle to get back into the swing of things for a day or two after it happens. And this morning we completely slept in, and I missed the beginning of my therapy appointment, so we were already off to a really rough start. And I was not feeling fully awake or aware of what was going on, and I really had to get my brain engaged. And one of the conclusions we came to during our conversation today, which was about allyship, but also understanding when you have the spoons to do certain things and when you don't, we kind of came to a specific conclusion. And that is that I personally need to leave more room for love and understanding and compassion for myself in my day-to-day life while I'm doing the work. Many of my individual traumas come from the fact that I constantly felt like I had to be the facilitator of peace. So adapting to the situation, knowing how to alleviate the tension and also to go with the flow enough so that I wasn't creating more problems, while also dealing with the fact that I, as a human being, like to push the boundaries and like to move beyond what is typical and what's normal. So those two things were constantly at odds, and they still are to this day. And I'm dealing with a lot of those traumas as they come up in my day-to-day life and in our therapy appointments. And what I'm realizing is that I'm still constantly working through having room for compassion for myself when maybe I'm not meeting goals like I want to, or I'm not reaching the revelations that I'm hoping that I will, or making the positive changes in my life as immediately as I think I should. And that kind of goes along with the weather, you know? Right now, I'm a little frustrated and a little upset that we had this beautiful spring weather, and now suddenly we're back to 100% chance of snow in about 20 minutes, which is why I'm on my walk now. And there are certain things that we can control and certain things we can't control. And I can control the way that I react and the way that I work within the confines of what's been given, but I don't always get to set the terms. I don't get to choose the weather outside, but I can choose how I deal with it. I can bundle up more. I can choose to stay home and not go for a long walk and just get a workout inside. Or there's options, and that's the important thing to remember. There are options. And when it comes to the way that I deal with myself and how I deal with my day-to-day traumas and my day-to-day life, I get to choose how I react to things. Sometimes I don't have an immediate choice in how a trauma response manifests itself. I don't get to say, I don't want this right now, because it happened. It already popped up. There's not much I can do about it. However, I do get to say that I am choosing to self-soothe or self-regulate, or to remove myself from the situation for a moment. Go for a walk away, come back. I don't have to live in those moments of true terror where I feel like the world is literally crumbling down around me or I'm about to die. I don't have to live there. I can make choices to alleviate that, to walk away, to state my needs, and also forgive myself and move forward and not beat myself up for having the response in the first place, because that's where I tend to live. I tend to live in this space where I had that very strong, fiery, passionate response to this stimuli that feels threatening and traumatic, and now I feel bad and I feel like a bad person because I had that response, instead of saying, okay, you had that response and now we get to decide what to do with it. And that's where I'm really trying to live right now, and learning some new coping skills, because it's been tough, and I'm just curious to know if anybody else has been really digging into this, particularly with this past year. And a lot of us are living through collective trauma, and I'm sure that there are many people who took some time this year to take stock of some things, and I'm just wondering if this came up for anybody else in your explorations of self, and what are some ways that you're choosing to cope with them, because I know I am in the process of developing new ways of doing just that. So please let us know down in the comments. Feel free to like and subscribe, maybe share us around. We'd love to continue to build this community, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Mama Shim Sham can't wait to hear from you this Thursday, and we love you and we'll see you later. Mwah, bye!